What's going on, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood DraftKings addict, bringing you my top picks for Friday's main NBA DFS slate. All right, guys, so before we get into it, guys, let's do some homework. We already know. Like, comment, subscribe to the video, guys. And also, if you played my picks from yesterday, which is today's slate, guys, come on, give me some love, man. All right, let me know how you did if you played them. All right, we had some fire picks, right? We had Bobby Portis as a nice value play. He put up 43 DraftKings points. Levine, all right, he was one of the highest scoring shooting guards on the night, putting up 45 DraftKings points. And, of course, Ben Simmons, he was the second highest scoring player on the night with 54.75 DK points. And then at the top was my man Joel Embiid. I told you guys, man, he was motivated after that butt kicking he got out there in Boston. He came home and showed out, put up 60 DraftKings points, man. He had 30 real-life points, 12 rebounds, and 4 block shots, and even got a steal in. All right, guys, so beast mode. So I doubled my money today. I played in FanDuel. Didn't get a chance to get into DK, but, hey, again, if you could give me a shout-out on Twitter, guys, go into the description of this video. Go on to Twitter and post your lineup if you play some of these plays. Speaking of shout-outs, Marino, thank you for the love, man. As you guys can see on the screen, he gave us a shout out to a couple of different DFS providers out there on YouTube. But I do appreciate being mentioned and appreciate the love. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. This is why I do it. I just want to share my love for DFS with you. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Main slate, 9 games, some fire. Got some pretty nice matchups. The games I'm going to personally be focusing on is the New Orleans versus Sacramento, the Brooklyn versus New York, Cleveland and Minnesota, and the Charlotte and Orlando. Now, I know Golden State and Utah are playing. I may have a couple of pieces of those games, but I won't be heavy on them. That's just me personally. But, hey, let's get into it, guys, position by position. So, point guard. So, at the top, you see we got Steph Curry, of course, Mr. Splash Brother. Put up 58 DraftKings points, it says on here. So, he's in a nice matchup versus Utah. But as you can see, this team has a pretty good defense. Yeah, they still can put up a lot of points because this team can go hard and heavy. But, me personally, I'm paying down at point guard just because I see some good plays and some good value there. So, I don't see the need to pay up $9,700 for Steph Curry. But you got Schroeder here in a decent matchup again versus the Clippers, all right, which is another game that's kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to the scoring totals or over and unders. But that's somebody that you can definitely look at. I like De'Aaron Fox, at 6,500. He played 40. He had 41 DraftKings points in 37 minutes last game. He pretty much carried this team. All right, but I like him. His usage is high. He gets a lot of minutes, and that's good when you talk about a point guard that has the ball in his hand, that's assisting the ball, stealing it, and rebounding it. So, speaking of that, Elfrid Payton, man, this guy's only 5.8K, and he just put up a triple-double. All right, he's $1,200 more on FanDuel, guys. I think this is my quote-unquote point guard one. It's going to be Elfrid Payton at 5,800, man. So, I like him in his matchup versus the Sacramento Kings again. Should be a good high-scoring game. The over-under is currently set at 230 points. All right, you got Drew Holiday in that same game, but he's 7,200. But that's somebody you definitely can consider. But there's a lot of miles to feed over in New Orleans, and the big dog on campus is definitely Anthony Davis. But of course, he's like almost $12,000 DraftKings points. So you got Mike Conley here, man, at 6,800. He's in a good spot versus ATL. Should be a high-scoring game as well. Should be a lot of baskets put up. And Mike Conley has a chance to do some damage. As you can see, is one of the worst teams versus the point guard. So you can definitely add Mike Conley to your list because this guy here gets hot from outside. And he can knock down about 6 or 7 threes. So that's somebody you definitely want to keep in your on your radar. And that's pretty much all my point guard plays, guys, as you can see on the screen. So next up is the shooting guard. Again, we got some players who are going to be multi-eligible, right? Point guard and shooting guard. So Klay Thompson, we got him on the board. He kind of disappointed last time, that I rostered him, but he's in a bad matchup, as you can see right here, versus the shooting guard over here. So I won't be playing him. But you got Drew Holiday again. We just talked about Buddy Hield. All right, this guy, I believe he comes off the bench, but he's 5,600 and he's playing 30 minutes on average. So that's a nice value again in this high scoring game that I was telling you I wanted to focus on. So I'm gonna go ahead and like him. All right, Eton Moore did pretty good. I rostered him last game round versus Houston, and he put up 29 DraftKings points, which is great. For his price, he's a nice value. Again, another player from that game that I like because with his price being so low, he doesn't have to do a whole lot to quote unquote reach value. But got Avery Bradley missed the defense, but he only put up 16 DraftKings points last game. But at shooting guard, man, it's kind of slim, to be honest. You got Big Louie, coming off the bench, knocking down buckets. So that's somebody that you definitely can look at because, again, that LA OKC game should be a good one. Not sure if Russ Brook is playing, but that's somebody you definitely want to keep an eye out for. All right, so next up, small forward. So you got Durant at the top in Utah. Don't know if I want to go there. 9,600. Again, I'm saving my money for some other positions, but small forward is definitely somewhere where you can possibly play up. To Kevin Durant, he's pretty much the best player on the board when it comes to small forward guys. So there you go. All right, you got Bjelica. Used to play for Minnesota. He's 4,600 at the moment. Alrighty, and he put up 34 DraftKings points. All right, last week, not too bad. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock him again, paying down that small forward. You also got Shumpert, but I wouldn't go there personally. All right, because he's not getting a lot of run. He only played 17 minutes last game. And you do got this guy Justin Jackson, man. He's the starting small forward for this Sacramento team. Again, it's going to be a high-scoring game. He played 30 minutes but only put up 16 DraftKings points. But this guy can knock down a couple of shots, get a few rebounds. He could play off value, again, in a high-scoring game. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in. Well, not lock him in, but put him on my watch player list. You got Gallinari right here too, man. He plays a lot of minutes, has a high usage. He can put up some buckets. But he's playing against a pretty good defense with Paul George being on that other side, guys. So I don't know if I'm going to go there, but right now I think I'm going to play down that small forward. And that could change, guys, depending on any news that may come out. Somebody may pull a hammy in practice or something. And so you got to stay on top of the news. And how do you do that? With Twitter. Alrighty? Just make sure you're on Twitter, checking out all the news. Next up is going to be the power forward. Again, it looks like it must be still updating the draft dashboard, but it doesn't show AD on here, Anthony Davis. But as we know, he's definitely a play that you could go with. Alrighty, next up, we got Draymond Green going against Utah. He's only 6,000, and this guy does a little bit of everything. He brings the ball up the court, he rebounds, he plays defense and steals. All right, he can shoot from the three, so he does a little bit of everything. He's only 6,700 in this matchup, so I'm going ahead and locking him on my player list. So again, you got Bjelica here again. As you see, he's small forward and power forward eligible. Looney did pretty good last game, guys. All right, he got a couple of opportunities, and he actually did just as well as Damon Jones did. But I like him again. Man, he's 4,500. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm going to have to sleep on that one. But right now it's looking like power forward is kind of tough. You got Harrell. He comes off the bench sometime and does pretty well. But right now I'm going to go ahead and stick with those two. I might get some Tobias in there because he has a pretty high usage. The guy plays a lot of minutes. 7,400 versus the Clippers and OKC. Depending on how that game goes, that could be a nice play there. So I'm going to go ahead and put him on there. He has a high dash rank too. So I'm going to go ahead and add him to my player pool. So, alrighty. So next up, we're going to go with the center position. And as you see again, it's updating the draft dashboard information. But Wally Cauley-Stein did pretty good the last game. He put up 44 DraftKings points. He gets AD this time around, but as you can see, he's in a good matchup when it comes to the defensive rank and everything, so we definitely want to go ahead and put him to our player pool. All right, you got Gortat, the starting center for the Clippers, and he put up 17 DraftKings points last game. All right, so if you think he's going to be able to do some damage versus Steven Adams, You can definitely try him out. I'm not sure if I'm going to go there. I'm pretty much probably going to lock in AD if I can get some value around him, Anthony Davis, because I think he's going to have a smash spot versus Sacramento in that team in a 230 point over and under. So, all right, guys. So that's pretty much all my picks for Friday's main slate. Now, a lot can happen between now and then. We can find out somebody else is starting or a player is injured, whatever the case may be, guys. So let's go ahead and again make sure you stay on top of the news. Follow me on Twitter. And once you go through and you select your players like this on your watch list, guys, you can go over to the watch player list and you can click on Watch DK Addicts Picks and all my picks will load in. All right. Then also if you go to the lineup optimizer, right now it's updating, so it may not do too well, but it would actually spit up an optimized lineup for you. And then if you want to go in there and modify it, Kemba Walker. Yeah, get y'all some Kemba Walker. Draft dashboard is still updating right now, but we need some Kemba Walker, man. He's one of my favorite plays at the point guard position. So we definitely want to get you some Kemba Walker, guys. But alrighty, man. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at you next time.